Hey everybody, Nikki Ezel here from eXp Realty. Hey listen, so you think you want to buy a house? All right, well listen, I'm here with Fountain Mortgage today and we're going to talk to Justin Rabin, one of the lenders here, and he's going to give us his expert advice. So stay tuned. Okay, I told you I'd be back with Justin. Here he is.
Here I am.
Justin, the expert. Tell us about you, Justin.
Well, I have been in the lending industry for around 20 years now, and with Fountain Mortgage, we're in Prairie Village, and that is in Prairie Village. We're 75th and Mission as our one and only office here, and so we're local to Kansas City, 100%.
Love that.
I've been here with Fountain Mortgage for about 5 years now.
Yeah, that's so great. And he has helped my people a ton, but they always have a million questions, right? So what are some of the most common questions first-time homebuyers have for you?
Well, I'd say right now, so we're taping this right now in we're kind of in the second week of August, I think. I'm kind of losing track of my dates, but I'd say one of the biggest questions that I get right now are, what are interest rates going to do? What are they going to do in 6 months or even next week? What is kind of the outlook for them? Yeah. And my answer to that is, the nice thing is that what the Federal Reserve does, this is a myth out there, is that what the Federal Reserve does, we've all heard about them increasing the prime rate, that doesn't have a direct correlation to what home interest rates do. Okay. So it's and a lot of people, there's some myths out there, some misunderstanding about that. And in fact, what we've seen is that the last couple of times that the Federal Reserve has come out and said that they're going to increase the prime rate, we've actually seen home rates get a little bit better, right? So that's interesting.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because what the Federal Reserve is doing, what they're planning on doing, it's pretty much kind of a well-known thing. Like it's no secret out there. Markets have already digested that. Home rates have already digested that news, and so they're not reacting in a negative fashion to that.
Right.
So.
Right.
But the good news is that they have stabilized, which is a good thing.
Yes.
And I'd say, kind of where they're at for the remainder of where they're at right now as of today, and for the remainder of the year, I do feel that they'll stay in that range. So if you're thinking about buying a home right now, one of the good things is that, monthly payment wise, you're not going to see what you're seeing today, shouldn't move based on what the interest rates are doing.
And we're talking somewhere in the late 5s to early 6s, right?
Yeah, I mean, speaking as of today, they're kind of in that low, 5% type of range is generally what you're going to see. Every scenario is a little bit different, so it'll depend a little bit on, different things. Credit score is a big one. Down payment's a big one. If you're thinking about a refinance, equity position is a big one. So how much equity you have in your home. So different factors that go into that, but generally somewhere kind of in the low 5% range.
Okay. So a lot of times I get the question, especially from first-time home buyers, they want to know, what does my credit score have to look like? How would you answer that? Good
question. So it's everybody's scenario is a little bit different, and I would highly recommend reaching out to myself or someone that you trust to talk about this type of stuff. But the bare minimum, let's just say the bare minimum, 550. Okay, so you don't have to have an excellent credit score to be able to buy a home, which is great. Now, different tiers of credit scores are going to have an impact on things like your monthly payment. We've heard of private mortgage insurance, or PMI for short. Credit score is going to have an impact on some of those different things and kind of where your monthly payment is going to come in at. Different programs are going to make more sense for different credit score ranges. But if you were to ask me, hey, I just want the best of the best, what do I got to get to? 740 would be the best of the best. But again, you don't have to have perfect credit to be able to buy a home. And the nice thing is that if you are working on your credit scores and things like that, or you want to try to get in a better position, I have multiple tools at my disposal to be able to help coach you on that and be able to provide some insight. And guess how much that costs?
$1?
Free.
100.
It's
free.
Right? How about that, right? So happy
Everybody
to have
loves free, right?
That's right. That's
okay.
Right.
So the other question, and this will be the last one, is people want to know, how much money do I need to save for a house?
So I would say a good average down payment for a first-time home buyer is going to be a 3% down payment. Now, there's different programs out there. Some don't require a down payment at all. Others will be, again, 3% average. And there's the higher the down payment, it can have a factor on where your monthly payment comes in at. So sometimes the higher of your down payment that you have, the lower your monthly payment is going to be. So down payment will impact things like I mentioned, that private mortgage insurance or the PMI. It is going to have an impact sometimes on that and how much that's going to come in at per month. So that's why it will impact your monthly payment. I'd say another cool thing, right now, we try to get buyers set up to where let's say they own a house right now, and we're trying to get things set up to where they don't have to sell that home first to be able to buy a home.
Right.
One cool thing right now is if you have, say, like a 5% down payment, kind of a minimum down payment to get into the new home, and then you buy your new home first, then sell your current house second, and then you get those proceeds and then you put them back towards the new home, and we do what's called the recast.
Right.
And what that does is bring the monthly payment back down to where your balance is at. So really cool way to set things up to where you're not contingent on selling your current house.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for the insight. It's been so good, so helpful. I think first-time home buyers always have so many questions, and they're so afraid. I have all of my children are grown and they're in their 20s, but their friends are all buying homes, right? And so they're asking me all these questions. So this will be a great resource to come back to and just share with others. So
Sure.
Thank you so much for your time,
Thank you.
Justin. All right.